All right, so I think it's on. I think it's on. Is it on? Is this on? Hello? Okay, say something. Let me get an audio test.
Yes, it's happening.
Okay.
This
Are
is now
you
happening.
it is it okay? Okay. So, I'll just have my
Oh.
camera on the on the stream, but you don't have yours on, so just no
Yeah.
need for me to use the Discord thing because that's I hate it. I hate it. I'm trying to get your name on here. Your
So where do you want to start this conversation at?
I don't know. I don't know. I figure you can do that. I'll let you do that. I'll give you the.
Well,
Yeah.
so there was a bit of a there was a bit of a back and forth between us in DMs that was a little bit of a clarifying moment
Okay.
that was also unclarifying at the same time,
All right. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
which is you put out a series of tweets yesterday that are like, "Oh, people who criticize cryptocurrency are more annoying than vegans," which I don't
I
super know what that
specified
means.
militant vegans. I specified militant vegans, and I can get into that.
Okay, well that's fine. But when we were talking about it, I don't know exactly what it is about cryptocurrency that you think is worthwhile or good.
Okay. It's very simple. It's very simple. One, I can make money with it. Two, I like gambling. And three, I trust cryptocurrency more than I do a bank.
Why?
All three of those? Well, I mean, why? You buy low, you sell
Banks are
high.
FDIC, banks are FDIC insured.
Oh, it's not about. Yeah,
There's
that's not about.
there's
That's not the
absolutely
problem.
no crypto broker that is FDIC
That's
insured.
correct. That's not my issue. My issue is like, I don't want like. Okay, so I'm gonna put money in a bank for what? What does that accomplish? Like, my thing is, I'd rather put my money into cryptocurrency. And if I need money, I take the crypto out. And if it's in a bank, I can take it out too. But it's like also, otherwise I'm just letting it sit there and it's going to do nothing. Banks don't give
Well,
you
you're
really
also
any
gonna
interest
pay-
rates.
You're going to pay capital gains on that.
Oh, I'm aware.
I guess I'm slightly confused by the construction of it
Sure.
because, for example, one thing that you had said to me was you had said at one point in your preferred world, junk food wouldn't exist and neither would cryptocurrency.
Oh my God.
But I do think there's a differentiation between those two in terms of one serves a value proposition. It gives you nutrients, bad
That's
nutrients,
debatable. That's debatable.
bad nutrients maybe,
Okay.
but at least it gives you calories to get through the day. Whereas crypto is just a volatile speculative asset.
Sure. Well, the value is that I can make money with it. It's that simple. I'm not one of these people that think crypto is gonna change the world. I mean, I think it could, but that's probably not gonna happen. Like if it got to the point where it was irrelevant at all to change anything, I mean it's gonna get banned instantly. Max. Okay. The other thing is, yeah, the value for cryptocurrency is that the value goes up. It's gambling. I would prefer to gamble my savings rather than throw it in a bank. I mean, like that could be like, famous last words, quote me later when I'm in the ditch, or it can be I'm doing pretty well in like 5 years. I've been involved in crypto since like 2017. So it's like, for me, I'm doing pretty decent. I don't disagree with most of the criticisms. But my comparison to junk food is I personally think junk food is worse than cryptocurrency because I don't think that there is a value to junk food. And also, if I buy cryptocurrency, I can take the money out. If I buy junk food, I lose it forever and I do damage to my body. So that's my comparison with junk food. But my original tweet about militant veganism, it's like, people like, okay, let's just be honest here and people eat meat. To me, I find eating meat morally reprehensible, but people eat meat. And so you see there's a backlash to that with the militant vegans, right? Like they'll call anyone that eats meat like morally garbage or whatever. And like I'm willing to listen to that.
They say all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, sure. And people right, justifyingly sometimes, but most of the time not. Like, it's an overcorrection. People think veganism or vegetarianism itself is bad or is cringy or annoying because like the most annoying people in it. So my postulation is that crypto bros, as they're often routinely referred to as, are annoying. The rich people like Elon Musk trying to use it for like scamming and pump and dump garbage, they're annoying. I don't think anyone really likes them except for like the people that can I think most of the time, I mean, everything in capitalism, right? But it's like, especially
if crypto. You don't mind me, if you don't mind me asking, and feel free to tell me to like fuck off with this question.
Oh, I will. I will tell you to fuck off.
Which ones are you invested in?
Oh,
because I know we talked about Ethereum. I know we talked about Ethereum and Bitcoin. Which
I have zero Ethereum and
premier ones.
Bitcoin. I mostly I have my biggest, I guess, investment. I don't use that term investment. I wouldn't call it an because it's gambling. But my biggest investment is Hive, HIVE, is a social media blockchain.
What's the significant purpose of it?
Oh, the significant purpose, the reason why I use it, is one, I can make money. So like again, that's the big thing for me. I don't have like making money via random internet schemes is pretty much my thing. So so it's a social media website that I can make money on. That's my original purpose of using it. I
mean, I think that's a fair enough goal. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, imagine when
it came to like just as a kind of an example here.
Sure.
I did a swing trade on Dogecoin.
Oh hell yes! Last year, I bought my cell phone with Dogecoin.
Right before the SNL thing with Elon Musk, I made enough money to buy a Big Mac meal, which, I mean, I get it. That's whatever. Mm-hmm. But if that's like the narrow limitations that we think this is a good thing, there actually might not even be an argument here. In fact, I don't even think you have an argument against people who are critical of cryptocurrencies. It's just all kind of gambling.
Yeah, that's money. My problem. My problem is I've gotten a lot of pushback for what we're talking about right now, and we've been here for 7 minutes. I've gotten so much pushback for this because no one understands the arguments at all, and there's like this big fierce mob online. And like I have no problem, it's a reactionary cult in my opinion of people that hate NFTs and cryptocurrency to the point where like if you ask them any questions about why they hate it so much, they'll label you some like super defensive anarcho-capitalist. Like the other day, this is what's prompted my tweets, is the other day that I saw like these stories of like, there's thousands of people harassing like women in crypto or something. And let's be honest, right? Like people can make cringy tweets. I think people are allowed to make cringy tweets, right?
I've been known to make a few.
Absolutely. And you're allowed to tell someone their tweet is cringy. But I think that people go way above and beyond when it comes like they view anyone involved with cryptocurrency or NFTs as like inherently evil and like a scammer, right? Because I asked a very basic question like how cryptocurrency inherently destroys the environment. Now we can make the argument about how blockchains and how they use energy destroys the environment, right? But like I asked someone
I think I actually do think this is an incorrect construction because you're backing up basically saying this is all fine and good because it's gambling. But then your criticism is criticism of people criticizing energy usage to back up your gambling.
Well, yes. That's my problem is the moral grandstanding that people have. Like they have this like it's like like they think that they're Goku going Super Saiyan when they dunk on an NFT user or something. That's my main problem. That's 99% of the context that I discuss cryptocurrency in is I'm on the side of, quote, defending cryptocurrency for just asking people basic questions. Like, again, my opinion is like Do you need to play video games on max graphics? You might not know this, but for me, I play old games. I play Doom and like Mega Man and stuff, right? So like I don't play all these newfangled.
I work in the video games industry, so
yeah. I don't play these I'm not playing Crisis 12 on like 1079, 69, 420 GTX 74. So personally, in my opinion, playing games on max graphics is a waste of energy, right? So we can make these arguments about energy waste. I don't think that I deserve the right to dictate that people aren't allowed to waste energy. I think that the problem is how our society is constructed, right? So again, like when people say like using cryptocurrency,
I mean, sure, like, yeah, we can always go down to that base level, but the thing is again, I still don't actually understand what the value proposition of this is, other than, as you've said, it's just gambling, which fair enough, I guess.
Sure. Well, value, and the word value is very interesting when it comes to NFTs, because NFTs are typically built to represent artistic things. NFTs aren't inherently art, but like that's just like the first major breakaway thing. So value, in my opinion, I think the Bored Ape stuff is stupid. To me, I get why people are interested in it, because I collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? I collect achievements in video games. Those are entirely digital, right? So I understand the idea of collecting digital things. The idea that that Bored Apes or whatever are going to be the thing that takes off, to me, that's ridiculous. Because I've seen a lot of interesting NFT projects.
Do you think it's a problem, at least in Inception, in the NFT, in its inception or conception, whatever, I don't know which is the right term, in the NFT market, that people can claim artwork that they did not produce as NFTs? Do you think that's a problem?
I think that's a problem with anything. That's not inherently NFT. Like I can subscribe to someone's Patreon that does like paywall art, and I can download every photo on their Patreon and post it on Twitter. Right? Like the idea of stealing art or claiming art that's not yours isn't a problem unique to NFTs. It's a problem that's existed. I mean, like people were copying Leonardo da Vinci's art and selling it as, like art.
Yes, but this is kind of like an extra on top of this already existing problem.
Is it like, what is the extra on top though?
Fake funny money that just wastes resources for no particular reason.
I mean, okay, so the argument goes into the resources angle. Yeah, my problem is that there's a lot of things that waste resources. It's a particular
problem. I think it's a particular problem. So for example, when you compare it to junk food, at least people are getting calories out of the situation.
I don't think that's a positive at all. I think that's a negative.
I think people having calories to exist is good. Food. When you compare,
we can go more in depth on that one, but yeah, go.
When you go into video games, at least there's entertainment value. Maybe people are talking over Discord or something. That they're developing friendships. They're playing video games.
To me, I personally find gambling valuable because it's fun. I have been trading cryptocurrency. I'm a day trader. I trade, all throughout the day, every day, and have been for 4 years.
We keep returning. We keep returning. Well, actually, you kind of brought up two different things. One, we're returning to this proposition that one, it's just gambling, which again, I guess, whatever. And then two, gambling for the sake of it, because it's just fun.
Well, it's
that
also
does not
for money.
Create value in the economy. Nothing is actually produced from that. When people make fast food, a thing is created. It is consumed. It is purchased.
Okay.
When people create video games, a thing is created. Labor is put into it and purchased. This is just, I'm sorry I keep returning to this term. It's just funny money.
Yeah.
And if we're just gambling for the sake of gambling, okay. But
yeah, if labor is the thing that's the problem here, people create the coin that you trade. That's the labor. To me, I don't view work or creating a physical object as being intrinsically valuable. I don't think that has any sort of special innate feature about it. I think that there's digital things that have value because someone wants them to have value. If someone thinks a Bitcoin is worth $35,000 and someone else wants to buy it for that because they agree, then there's the value. I don't think value necessarily has to be attributed to a physical object. There's plenty of physical
I mean,
objects that don't have value.
let me ask you this, again, I know you're not a fan of Bitcoin specifically as a
Sure.
cryptocurrency. Um, would you agree that financial markets are particularly good at extracting value from various countries or countries in the global south?
Sure, absolutely.
So, financial markets degraded El Salvador today for the very purpose that they adopted Bitcoin as a currency.
We can talk a lot about the El Salvador Bitcoin stuff. That's a gold mine of cringe.
So you think it was a bad move? I take it.
I think the idea of a country adopting Bitcoin as legal tender is interesting. El Salvador specifically, I don't view that government has the best interest of the people in mind when it comes to doing that.
Okay. But you do see the fundamental problem then.
What, like in gambling people's economy on a cryptocurrency? Yeah, I would not gamble my family's ability to eat on crypto. That's my position.
Yeah, I guess I just I don't see the confluence. Again, we keep returning to certain terms here. Beyond just simple gambling, I don't see any purpose beyond this.
Okay. Like my postulation is you don't need to see purpose. Like I think purpose is completely subjective. I don't subscribe to the idea that like does this cookie wrapper that I'm holding up that you can't see unless you have my stream open, does this have purpose? I mean, you could say like the purpose existed to house the cookie, but did this plastic really need to be created to house the cookie? Could we have had a better alternative? Could I just had an unpackaged cookie?
Yeah.
Like these are all questions we can ask. So I don't think
the answers to all of those questions are yes.
Yeah, I mean, like that's my point, right? Like, I don't think that physical wrapper has any intrinsic value. Like, like something digital can have value just because if more than two people want it to have value, then that's, even if one person.
So okay, I guess there's a flip side example here. You mentioned that digital things can have value. You used the example earlier today of in-game purchases.
Sure.
What happens when those servers get shut down?
They don't mean
Is
anything.
the value just evaporated?
Yeah, absolutely. Value doesn't need to be like permanent either. Like that's another thing is that value doesn't need to be forever, right? Like I am a PS1 game collector. Eventually the discs will rot into nothing, right? Like I take that eventually 70 years from now the plastic that the games are made out of will degrade into nothing, right? I mean, like it doesn't need to last forever for something to have value.
The implication of this right now, collectively, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen. I'm gonna do the Sam Harris line. We're doing a thought experiment.
Okay, I'm ready.
If everybody on the Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever like cryptocurrency network just shut off their computers, is that just gone? Is that it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole like point of blockchain, I guess, to begin with, is that like there's no single point of failure, right? So like if Steam went under, I would not have anything on Steam. Whereas if Bitcoin went under, theoretically someone else can just pick up the network and keep it going from that point, right? Like that's the theoretical advantage of blockchain.
I don't understand that to be an advantage. I actually think that's very bad.
Well, I mean that's up to debate. I mean, like how do you feel about like torrent? Like do you ever use torrents?
No.
Are you familiar with piracy?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like think of it, it's like the similar thing. Like people, in order to download something, like someone has to seed the file. If no one's seeding the file, you can't download it. But then
Yeah, but those are useful things. Like,
well, define use. Like, what's useful?
entertainment value, uh, production value, like those things have actual uses, whereas
See,
these
I don't
don't.
I don't believe that actual means anything. I mean, like there is no such thing as actually useful. Like if someone likes to look at their NFT collection online and I like to scroll my achievement list on Fallout New Vegas, like what's the functional difference between those things?
Sorry, I got distracted by something for a moment.
Oh,
Can you repeat your question?
you were distracted by
apologize.
my daring questions. I'm cracking the intellectual barriers. Okay, so someone looking at their NFT collection of like frogs or whatever, versus me scrolling my achievement list of Fallout New Vegas. Like, what's the functional difference?
One gave you entertainment value. It took a bunch of work to produce.
Well, what if I just
The
use the console commands? Like, I just really like the achievement list, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that I would ever cheat in Fallout New Vegas. I would never cheat in that game. Cheaters are bad. But what if I did do that?
You certainly could, but no. There is actually a significant difference because to actually achieve things in a video game, you actually have to put in work to do the things in the video game to achieve it. If you just download a series of pictures or you right click save a bunch of NFTs, you haven't done anything. There is no achievement. You haven't performed anything.
I disagree. I disagree. Well, first of all, I mean, like I was saying, like I could just cheat to get the achievements, and then people would say I have the achievements, right? You could just steal an NFT, but then people could know that you stole that NFT, or I mean, but like my point is that their value is completely subjective.
Actually, no. This is actually where you are distinctly wrong.
Oh shit, I'm wrong.
People mint NFTs without any actual correlation to the work put into the artwork or
that's
thing or smart contract or whatever. They don't do it.
That's correct.
And they succeed.
Well, define succeed.
What's the point of this?
Define succeed. I mean, like, if someone stole an NFT, right? Like, the way that this goes about being solved is you report that that's not your artwork. Anyone who buys that NFT, right? So any, like, there's, like, these NFT marketplace bullshit.
So
right?
it's open to the open market.
Sure, but anyone can label something as stolen, and there can be, ways to find out something is like stolen art, and then the value would go down theoretically. But also, like, yes, this goes back into art theft exists everywhere. Like, I can, like, I mean, like, is it art theft if I like download a picture and then use it as a YouTube thumbnail? Like, is that art theft?
There's already art theft. This is just new art theft, which sucks. It's stupid.
I'm against.
It's pointless.
Art theft. Yeah, I'm against art theft. I think art theft is bad. But I don't think NFTs are like. I don't think that there's inherently, like, it's just what it's just the same shit, but in the digital metaverse bullshit. Like, it's just it's a different.
I guess let me ask you this.
Problem.
Let me ask you this.
I won't let you ask me. Actually, what if I deny you? That would be fun.
What do you think could fix this problem?
Which problem? Art theft?
Art theft within the NFT market.
Well, art theft within the NFT market. I don't use NFTs. I don't have any, so I don't like know how the markets work.
You don't have any apes?
No.
You're completely apeless?
I'm apeless, yeah. I know. I think about it every day. But how I would fix it is I would say there should be a process. Some sort of process between marketplaces, right? Where people can, get a blacklist essentially, and you prove, like, you get like whoever created the art, you get proof of them creating the art. Like, let's say I download, some.
What would be the central organizing factor behind this?
The central organizing factor. What do you mean? Behind, like, the lists?
Whatever organizing structure this is that you're presenting.
Organizing structure. I mean, you could use like just.
So, for example, in the art community,
sure,
you have, one, government-backed fiat currency. I know, disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, you have a chain of command of an artist created a thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the organizing factor behind this?
What do you mean, like government? Is that where you're getting at?
I'm trying to get where this chain of command for NFTs flows from.
Well,
because
I mean, it would be decentralized, right? Like that's the idea.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you talk about that as a feature. You talk about that as a feature.
I mean, it's a feature. You can make a value judgment of whether you like it or don't like it. I have a lot of criticisms with decentralization. I think there's a lot of problems with decentralization. But I'm just like, that's the world. That's like, criticizing food for being edible. It's like, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be edible.
Well, you actually did that earlier in this conversation.
I know. Yeah. But I maintain the argument that we can make a whole separate debate about this, that junk food is not actually, that calories don't have any intrinsic value to them, and that junk food is actually a net negative for you. And that, I argue that most people would probably, now again, most people, I'm not a doctor, if you're diabetic or something.
If I was starving, it would be a net positive, actually.
If you're well, let's be honest, like most people listening to this aren't going to be starving.
You might actually be shocked by that.
I mean, if someone is starving, I'm willing to buy them food. I mean, let's just put it that way. I hope no one is starving. But that said, like, junk food does a net negative, I think, to 99% of the times people eat it. I think it's a net negative. But I believe in people's ability to
have the function of feeding people.
Yeah, and the function of cryptocurrency is that people like trading it. That's the function. I mean, value is completely subjective. There is no real value.
Yeah, I mean...
Someone asked in the chat, what about when you're the single parent can afford his McDonald's, in this case, when I was a kid? That's my case when I was a kid. And I was raised on fast food every day as a kid. Like, that's a big problem.
If you're a single parent and all you can afford is like something from McDonald's, obviously you should invest in cryptocurrency and NFTs.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. That's not the first thing I would do. What about the value of not dying? It's not, in my opinion, it's not a value. Like, I mean, like, let's be like this. I think it's a fantastical notion.
It's actually a pretty valuable thing.
I think I'm pretty sure it's fantasy that like McDonald's is like the only thing. People get into these habits. Like people get into the habit of buying fast food for their kids. Now, am I saying that you should learn to cook or whatever? I mean, this is a societal problem. I think that, yes, I think for me personally, my parents giving me fast food every day as a kid created a lot of problems. I had debilitating health issues for half my life, more than half, like 2/3 of my life. So it's like, yeah, it creates problems. Is it better than not dying? Who's to say? Who's to say? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's better than not dying, but that doesn't excuse that at all.
Like, as much as we might disagree on this very specific point, I'm pretty glad you haven't died. I think the world is better for you being in it.
I agree. Okay, NFTs don't give you any value. You can't compare the value of an NFT to junk food. Value is subjective. Like this phone, I don't need this phone. I could have bought the cheaper model. I could have bought no model. I don't need the phone. I don't need the coffee cup. Like, this isn't inherently tied to my survival. I could just drink the coffee from the pot itself. I don't need, like, this idea that, like, NFTs make you, like, are especially bad or something compared to, like, I don't know, buying books.
Yeah, because they're valueless. They're stupid.
Again, value is subjective. Like, if you think
you've
they're
already
stupid,
said
that's
at
right.
this point. You've already said at this point. They are functionally gambling for you.
Yes. And gambling has a function. That's a use.
I don't think there's any problem with that construction. But if that's all that they are, then the conversation's essentially over.
Yeah, then that's fine with me. How much do you have invested in NFTs? I have $0 in NFTs. I don't use NFTs. But again, this is the thing. If we want to have the conversation about the moral value of, like, the term value, like, buying a movie, why buy a movie when I can pirate it?
With you. I'm not having a moral conversation with you. I am having an economic conversation with you.
Sure,
and the economics do not make sense, period. Beyond gambling.
What about the economics don't make sense?
we've already talked about it. So we've talked about like the cases of El Salvador. We've talked about how this affects artists and how artists are not actually remunerated for
I mean,
their
yeah,
artwork.
capitalism is just a failed system of economics. Like, free market capitalism sucks.
Yeah, that's why I'm a Marxist. It's beside the point.
You see what I mean, though? Like,
It's just an extension of capitalism being stupid.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm still going to participate in capitalism, like, because we live in capitalism. But if you look at the chat, I don't know if you have my chat open. I don't know who this person is. If you have $0 invested in NFT, then you're even a bigger dumbass than the arguments you're making. This is my problem, is that, like, criticizing slightly, there's just, like, it's like a religious dogma that if you are engaged in NFTs or crypto, that you're a uniquely bad person compared to if you eat meat, which meat, it's a literal holocaust of livestock. I mean, I have no problem saying that. Maybe you can disagree. But I think eating meat is an objectively worse thing for everything involved, for society, for you, for your family, for everything involved. Eating processed food is objectively worse than gambling on cryptocurrency. But if I'm not allowed to say that. I think that religion is probably objectively worse for society than cryptocurrency. But I can't say that. Right, this is my main problem, and this is why I get into arguments about cryptocurrency. It's because, I just think people have a hate boner for it. Like, it's a cool thing to hate, and that's fine. You can hate it. I hate certain kinds of things too, but I'm not gonna cast a moral judgment. If you like country music, then you're a bad person, or if you like rhythm games, you're a bad person. Whatever. You like what you like.
I don't think you're okay. Just to roll back for a moment here. I don't think you're a uniquely bad person.
Yeah, I know. That's why I appreciate that you're willing to actually have this conversation. That's why I was excited for it. I think
you're right. I'm willing to have a spirited conversation about it.
Absolutely. That's my thing. I disagreement is fine. I think people are allowed to disagree. But every other, up until, for me, right, on my perspective of this, every time I've had this conversation with people, they just get mad, they insult me, and they get really mad. And and they get rude, and it's obnoxious. It's cringy. If you don't, my thing is, if you don't hate something in the same way that I hate it, that makes you a bad person. That's the experience I get, because I don't like NFTs. I don't have any that I'm interested in at all. I can see a theoretical use or value to them in the future, maybe. But at this point, I think that they're mostly cringy garbage, right? But, if even suggesting that I might think that they could have any sort of something ever possibly makes me a terrible person on Twitter. And that's why I think Twitter is a horrible place. But
it is. Oh, it's terrible. I do want to push back. I did open up your chat. I want to push back against one particular point somebody made.
Okay.
Which is that I was accused of being anti-gambling. I fucking live in Las Vegas, okay?
Well, I don't know if that was serious. I don't know if that was too serious.
No, I just wanted to make that joke real quick.
Sure.
No, but broader point here. Like I said earlier, I don't think you're some bad person for thinking this way. In fact, I think you're quite sober in your analysis of it being...
I am not sober. I am on multiple drugs.
Well,
go on. Thank you.
Sober in your analysis of, treating it as a speculative asset that you're gambling on.
I don't play any, I'm not here to say that Bitcoin's gonna I'm not here Bitcoin's gonna replace the government when the governments fall apart and then everyone's gonna hail yes, people sell crypto crypto bros are dumb. Absolutely. That's never been my contention. Has never been that a lot of the hype around it is dumb. There is a lot of really stupid hype, but also let's go back into value real quick. I can buy drugs on the internet with cryptocurrency. I mean, that's a value. That's a function. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
The only other thing I was going to say is that, and this is going to come off to some people as tone policing or something.
Sure.
Which I really do not actually intend. I just think the way you said some of that stuff came off a lot harder than you probably intended, if that makes sense.
I don't remember, what are you referring to? What did I say? Because I'm experiencing short-term memory loss right now.
like the whole thing about like, oh, are you triggered by like crypto or something? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I think that came off a lot harder to some people than you probably intended it to me.
Well, okay, my thing is like I like to project myself as a deeply sarcastic person who doesn't take things seriously, right? So like that's the image and personality I project. So I like to have like I like to test that sometimes on Twitter, right? So it's like if people get really offended by something that I say, and they take it to like the most uncharitable direction, you know, to me that's just like I'm fine with losing them as a follower, or if they get mad at me, I'm fine with that. Like to me, I consider Twitter to be just like fun. So like that's why like
Sure.
I'll get involved on NFT discussions and debate it with my like most of my followers don't like it. And so it's like, you know, I've lost a lot of followers, and a lot of them have said really stupid things. Right? Like, you know, like, I don't know, like, if someone thinks that, like, I'm a fucking scammer or that I'm trying to, like, rip off your grandma or something, that I think that I would say that there's, like, a mental illness involved in that kind of conclusion. But, you know, like, I like to test the boundaries sometimes on Twitter. I think it's fun. And I've got, like, a niche here. Like, I've got, like, and I'm willing to have this conversation with anyone, anytime. I'm willing to, you know, it's like, I think people have a hate boner for crypto, and it leads them into a little bit of an illogical direction.
Well, I certainly do. I certainly do. But
I mean, I have a hate
we're-
boner for junk food and fast food. So I mean, we all got something, right?
I do think we're actually much more in agreement than disagreement. But
I would
Uh-huh.
hope. I would hope. That's my other thing. Is like no one ever has these conversations. So they like you're like the fact that you thought that my position was something different than it actually is, I think is really funny. But I
I
mean,
thought
yeah.
it was really well. So this is something that people in chat wouldn't know, but like we were having a private conversation behind the scenes.
It was behind the
and-
scenes. Over there.
Like you made a clarifying statement that made me realize like, oh, she's not like off the fucking deep end on this. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think it's fascinating that anyone could know anything about me and think that I would be. Like, just to even consider that as a possibility, like, to me, I think is astounding. Like, I need to do a better job, I guess, at something. I don't know. But, like, it really, like, and also I think it's, like, more of, like, a mental illness tied to Twitter. Like, the idea that Twitter puts people in these, like, ways of viewing the world, like, they analyze the world in, like, a different way. Like, when you're on Twitter, it's, like, for or against. Like, there's never, like, gray area. There's never, like, you know, nuance, because you can't have nuance in 200 characters. Right, so like people like they just start thinking in these like really weird attitudes on Twitter. So yeah, I like to test those boundaries, for sure.
I am hitting the point where I need to get back to work.
Yes,
But
get the hell out of here. Go be a
I
good
really-
little wage slave.
Yeah,
Upholding the
I'm gonna
machine.
be-
Look at you,
I'm gonna-
capitalist.
I'm gonna be a sicko paycheck slut. Okay.
Yeah, you're upholding capitalism. Like, you know, why don't you go on a general strike?
But it was good to talk to you. I'm glad we kind of talked it out.
Yes,
And
and feel free to link this to anyone if they question you about it. All right, that's it. That's it. That's all we got. Looks like I have won the debate. No, I'm just kidding. There's no winners. It doesn't matter.
I don't think either of us won. I think we both lost, actually.
That's true. That's true. Well, actually, I won because I get to monetize this. So think of it that way.
God damn it.
Yeah, see? Like, you know, this is why I'm pro crypto. I'm going to monetize it on YouTube, then I'm going to monetize it on crypto.
I deserve at least 30%.
I am willing to negotiate that at a later date. All right, so anyway, boom. That's it. It's over.
All right.
Thank
Thanks, Andrea. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. I'll stay in the chat. We'll do a little post Q&A here. Does anyone have any problems? Yeah, I want to say my grander point is I think people have a hate boner for crypto that's really annoying and really stupid, and it leads them down really dumb thought processes. Like, it's fine to not like stuff, right? Like, I don't like Call of Duty, right? But it's like, I remember when I was like 13 years old and I was playing Halo, and like my fucking friends on Xbox Live bought Call of Duty instead, and I was like, fuck Call of Duty, play Halo with me, right? Like, I'm not gonna, like, that's like something I would think when I was 13, you know? Like, I'm not, you know, it's weird to like just get like morally invested in people's like hobbies and things. XMR, I'm a fan of Monero. I held Monero up until a point, but no longer do so. Problems, how much time you got? Question mark. What? I don't know what Shy Doomer is crying about at the moment. Yeah, I also personally think, like I personally, and again, with everything being said, I personally think that cryptocurrency can make you rich. I think if you have the proper amount of time to invest in like learning how to like charts work, and like you have the proper amount of time to invest in like learning how social trends work and analyze it and all that stuff, I do think cryptocurrency can make you very, very wealthy. Does that mean that people should just like throw their life savings and second mortgage or fourth mortgage their fifth kid or something to do it? No, I don't. I wouldn't bet a country's economy on Bitcoin for sure. But me personally, I personally think that cryptocurrency has a very high likelihood of going up in value significantly in the next 5 to 10 years, and I'm willing to bet thousands of dollars on that. I don't mind. Have you heard of Damash? I don't know what that is. News covering too many of these instant crypto millionaires. I mean, there's a lot. I think crypto is I think like the idea that crypto is inherently valueless, I disagree entirely. Like there's a lot of very poor people that made a lot of money, myself included. I was I had like $0 in my, like in 2020, I was not looking so good financially. 2021, I'm feeling not too bad, Like if I got hit by a car and I couldn't do anything, like I was just like a vegetable for 6 months, I might be decent off, Illusion of easy wealth. Illusion of easy wealth. Like you can say that like with the institutions of capitalism, right? Like going to college is an illusion of easy. Like, yeah, you're going to get, like when I was a kid, I was told go to college. That way you can get a job. I don't want a job, so we'll go to college. That way you can get a job. I don't want a job. I don't want a fucking job. So why would I go to? Well, you got to go to college, and then they fucking trap you with this goddamn student. Like the whole economy is a scam, So it's like I don't think crypto is a unique thing there. I think it's like there's a lot of I think I agree with the criticism overall, but I don't think it's a unique thing that crypto should be inherently punished for. Can crypto make me rich enough to keep the poors out of affordable housing in my neighborhood? I'll talk about that on the show tomorrow, I think. He's the only singer on the planet that can sing the way he does. Check Olympico, Stranger, Autumn Song. Okay. I'll look into that. Thank you. Like, I'm just upfront. Like, I could lie to y'all. Like, I could lie to y'all and say that, like, I could, let's just say, like, I could leverage my audience, right? Of people that watch my show. I get, like, couple hundred like rotate in and out, right? I could leverage that and lie and say that cryptocurrency is gonna fucking make you make your dick 12 feet longer, and then I could personally profit from it. I could, but I'm not going to. I'm just honest about it. Like its environmental destruction is massive. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like we're on YouTube, like right, you are watching a stream on a device that was, like think about the sweatshops that went in, the child labor and slave labor that went into like mining like fucking minerals and materials for the cell phone that you're watching YouTube on. Like the environmental destruction of everything we do and participate in capitalism is massive. So it's like playing video games, playing Crisis 69 on 420x graphics. That's massive destruction. Giving Twitter and YouTube time to searching things on Google is massively destructive. Driving a car? Are you kidding me? Like eating meat is I know like this criticism. It uses technology, it uses computers, right? So and that's my problem is so the criticism of crypto is that it destroys the environment. Okay, well first of all, so does everything we do. Okay, but then blockchains come around that fix that problem, right? That they fix that problem. And then people say, well, I don't like it because... So, like, what is the real depth of that question? Like, I don't like Bitcoin. I don't like Ethereum. I don't like proof of work models. I agree with you. Yeah, like, they're bad. Next. Like, now what? That's like saying, like, video games have horrible graphics because I was playing, like, you know, I don't know, like fucking Mario. I was playing the very first Mario game, and then I think all video games are like pixel graphics. It's like, it's not fixed yet. And I will criticize those chains until that they're fixed. But there are, like, the chains that I use are not environmentally destructive. They're just like, it's just like, you know, using Twitter or something. Like, it's just, in some capacities, more environmentally friendly than Twitter even. Like, capitalism is inherently a scam. I also think, I'm going to be honest with you, I do think that there's like the fact that there are billionaires, and other such, you know, like, there's a lot of people that do not like cryptocurrency. To me, that makes me interested in it. Like, I'm just like, that's how, like, you know, one of the things I first got interested in it is that all my techie friends were like, yo, buy Bitcoin or whatever. And then, like, everyone else that's not cool, that is to say, all my cool friends, said that crypto is evil. Hey, I'm just saying, like, 5 years later, I'm doing a lot better. Oh, what is this? This was a debate, and now it's over. And the stream is still on, because why not? Answer a couple more questions, and then I'm going to go back to being high and playing Path of Exile all night. Death Magnetic said they bought... Is that someone in the chat? I didn't see their message. They bought a used graphics card, and we think they got had by a crypto miner. Yeah, the miner thing with graphics cards, that is not... Like, crypto is not 100% of the reason for that. Like, let's be honest. Jay Creates, thank you for the $3. Also have to go. Just a drive-by super chat. Woo! How much money have I spent on Poe? Too much. Too much. Probably a couple hundred, maybe 150. Oh. Talk about funny money that has no value. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, I can, yeah. I think value, like, the idea that crypto has no value is just wrong. Like, it subscribes to a fundamentally authoritarian mindset where it's like, you can deem what other people have, like, are allowed to like or dislike. Yeah, chip shortages were happening before crypto mining got super popular. Yeah, I mean, that's another factor, but it's like, there's like, yes, there are shortages, but then it's also the same thing with inflation, is like, you know, the suppliers, right? They got you by the balls. So they're going to massively jack up the money. It's capitalism, right? Like, it's not like, you know, crypto mining as unique. Like, yes, is that a factor? Absolutely, it's a factor. It's not 100% though, right? Like, so it's like, but they're going to take advantage of that. They've got a scapegoat. They've got the crypto scapegoat, right? They've got the inflation scapegoat. So they're going to fucking jack the fuck up the prices, and they're going to take advantage of having like a monopoly, because a lot of these chip manufacturers do have monopolies, right? Because, like, you know, they're set up, they've got contracts up to like 2024 or something. So it's like they've basically just monopolized these situations between a couple of companies, and they get to control the prices. It's just like with pharmaceuticals, right? So it's like the idea that it's like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't, like, you can say that pharmaceutical prices go up because of, you know, I don't know, like, let's say, like, there's, like, a pill filling machine or something, or, I don't know, like, you can just find any scapegoat or something, like, I don't know. My point is, like, yes, crypto is a factor on that, but to say that I hate Bitcoin because my graphics card is just, like, it's just dumb. It's reactionary. It's fundamentally a reactionary opinion. I hurt my hand, and I don't know. Okay. I was thinking of selling some of my artwork on NFTs. Fuck it. Why not? Go for it. Bye-bye, Jay Creates. A lot of new technology is not super optimized and less energy efficient at the start. That's exactly correct. And that's one of the problems with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is that Bitcoin has that first mover advantage, right? So that's like it's like the worst fucking version of cryptocurrency is the most popular because it's tied to the economy, right? So like if we're talking about actual value and actual use and actual speed and privacy and all that, right? Like Bitcoin should not be the number one cryptocurrency. And that's another thing. That to me is proof that I'm an early adopter of cryptocurrency. Like, not to get too preachy, but the fact that Bitcoin is still number one, I think that is I think that we're not close. We're not even close to the bubble popping until something beats Bitcoin. That's my opinion. But, that I can talk about that more too, but that's one of the problems. Right, like it's like again, like going back to like every video game is like Mario, or like look at Minecraft. Let's talk about Minecraft. Minecraft is built on Java. You know what Java is? AKA garbage, AKA shit on my shoes, right? But Minecraft was designed to be backwards compatible on Java, and so they remade Minecraft. They made like Minecraft 2. They remade the whole game on another coding platform, right? So that they could put it on consoles, but they still maintain the original that's Java based because of backwards compatibility. Why did they do that? Have you ever tried like playing Minecraft? Like playing Minecraft on look at the graphics, they're garbage, yet they'll still destroy your fucking computer trying to play Minecraft, right? So I mean, like, think about Minecraft is like, that's a really good parallel, as you've got the Java version, which is like the Bitcoin version, but it's cool because it's the original, right? Like Minecraft Java edition should be banned. Like, think of all the processing power that's being destroyed and the wasted computational fucking energy being used on Minecraft Java edition, hashtag, like, fuck that, Yeah, I don't know. My thing is just like, it's an irrational hatred. I'm going to call out stupidity. If I see someone saying something stupid, I'm going to call out stupidity. That's my opinion on cryptocurrency. And I do think you can make money on it. I've made money on it. So yes, it is factual that you can make money on cryptocurrency if you dedicate a proper amount of time to it, and then even then it's probably you're going to gamble, but just giving you the scoop. All right, folks. I think that'll be the little bonus ep for today. So I'm going to drink the rest of my coffee and play Path of Exile all day. So if anyone wants to give me money via cryptocurrency, please DM me and I will send you whatever you need. All right. That's it. It's not just Java. Minecraft is also written by a dork who doesn't care about optimization. We got to ban it. That's the only answer. Hashtag save the environment. Hashtag ban Minecraft. Hashtag that's it. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one.